Hi Bruce, Don here from the Niagara Aerospace Museum. I thought you might like to see this prototype Astronaut Maneuvering Unit that was built by Bell Aerosystems back in the 1960s. It was intended to be worn on the chest and allow the astronaut to move and pitch, roll, and yaw, translate. And it had a whole nitrogen bottle, so it was a cold gas rocket engines. I think it was 3,000 pounds in the bottle with a regulator that stepped it down to 325 pounds at the nozzles. There were two nozzles at the back for forward movement and one little nozzle here at the front for reverse or to stop forward movement. And there were little controls here like these bicycle handbrake looking things. And the right one controlled the rear nozzles for forward movement, and the left one controlled the forward nozzle. And all 3 degrees of freedom could be operated at once. I think it would have been impossible to spin on a dime. Just for orientation, I think you can only translate with it. It's kind of interesting in the roll maneuver. You can see the little nozzles pointing in the opposite direction to get that roll motion started. Not sure if it was ever tested by NASA, but it's a pretty nice engineering prototype unit built, and just thought you might like to see it. This item is called the Zero Gravity Belt. It was an engineering prototype built by Bell Aerosystems back in the 60s. It was their solution for maneuvering outside the spacecraft. It was worn around the astronaut's body. These tubes here served as the reservoir for the nitrogen gas which acted as the propellant. There were 8 nozzles on either side operated by the astronaut and was intended to allow the astronaut to translate and just orient themselves in all 6 degrees of freedom. We know that it was never gone into production. It's one of 2 units that Bell built, and it's a very interesting story. We know that at least it did do some testing in a KC-135 doing some parabolic arcs, so it went that far in testing, but as far as we know, this is the only unit ever built.